What's up, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy Michael Kiefer with S.e.n, bringing you some more Dallas Cowboys content. Today, we're going to be going over the OTAs and minicamps and what they mean going forward. But first, I would like to go ahead and thank everybody who has gone and subscribed. Today, we've hit a little milestone at 20. Means a lot to us here. Couldn't be happier. Um, if you would, please go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's go ahead and get into the minicamp stuff. So enough with that. Thanks again, though. The Cowboys are, with today, it's wrapping up minicamps. It's the last time you're going to see your Cowboys until July 18th, whenever they go and report to Oxnard. So the way that people lined up today and throughout this week and last week is really telling on where they're starting to think about people and where they're going to be ultimately whenever it comes to the season. So nothing in cement, but it's starting to go in that direction type thing. So people who have been rising, I feel like Des Bryant had a tweet about two of our rookie DBs and about how whenever it's all said and done, we're going to know their names. Pretty much I've already known both their names since since they've been called. Jordan Lewis and Chidobe. I know I'm going to say that wrong. I wanted to say Chidobe. They're looking like they're gonna have a lot of snaps whenever it's all said and done. I know that Nolan Carroll is signed and he's the veteran and he's supposed to be the guy who's gonna go into Brandon Carr's spot, but I'm not excited about that. I think he's really a stopgap guy, and just in case guys aren't ready to really produce whenever training camp comes around, or maybe there's an injury. But I'm starting to get the feeling that Orlando's going to be your 1. Anthony Brown is going to be your 2. And then whenever they go into that 3 set, it's going to be Orlando going to the slot, Anthony Brown going to the 1, and then Chidobe going to the 2. So I would be really excited to see that. But obviously, after following some reports and looking at some guys who are there's tweets, really, it looks like he's getting playing time all over the field, whether it be the left or right corner, the slot, safety. I've even seen that they said he even got some time at linebacker. Jordan Lewis is showing a lot of good things inside the slot, which is where I think he's going to have to start out his career, and then he can show that there's a lot more to him than just being a slot guy. The comparisons to Orlando Scandrick here are absolutely outrageous. I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that that's bad. I mean, I think he's a guy who initially people thought could only play the slot, but really he can prove, if you give him the opportunity, that he can play the outside too. Anthony Brown has been really showing up. So a lot of good things coming from your cornerback group, which has to be really good to hear, for lack of a better term, I guess, just right off the top of my head, because after Brandon Carr and Morris Claiborne, yeah, they didn't take the ball away a lot, but Morris was one of the better cornerbacks in the league last year whenever he was healthy, and Brandon Carr has played every game he could as a Cowboy. Not necessarily the greatest, but he was very serviceable. Byron Jones, there was a thing with him in a scuffle between him and Jason Witten on the last day, and Jason Witten really saying that he sees Jones becoming a leader, and you got to test it. So coming from a Hall of Famer, that's got to be a really big confidence booster to Byron Jones. So very good things to hear. Lyle has pretty much locked up that right tackle spot for the most part. A guy who I thought would be in the competition for right tackle, but apparently they're going to try him out at guard now, is Chaz Green. So Chaz Green is now looking like he could be your starting left guard, him or Jonathan Cooper, depending on who wins that battle going into a training camp. But they were giving Cooper a lot of snaps at center, which makes me think that they're trying to make him the swing guard and possibly the center just in case something happens there. So indications to me seem like Chaz Green is going to be your starting left guard. Offense besides that is pretty much set. Jeff Swaim and James Hanna are going to be your two tight ends who are going to be battling for the 2 and 3 spot. Rico Gathers, he started off hot here at OTAs, but over minicamp he was showing a little inconsistency. It's nothing to be worried about, but it's just a bump in the road. So he's not showing enough to take those guys off the depth chart yet, which I think with more time and more practice he possibly could. A guy that I was more down on him than I should have been last time I talked about him. But Jeff Heath really came through and made me eat crow. And he came up big and had 2 big interceptions throughout the week against the first team offense. So that's always good to see. A lot of good things about your rookies and young guys, to be honest, with this team, which is a really good sign after seeing a lot of stuff not go their way for a lot of years whenever it came to guys aging, and we were always one of the older teams. And now it's good to see this youth movement come in, and it's really rejuvenating. Anthony Hitchens came through and showed why he was the starting Mike linebacker last year. And he's still holding down that spot to where even whenever Jalen is 100% healthy, he's going to have to win that job against a very good guy. A lot like how Lyle had to win against Ron Leary. So, very good things to see there. Malik Collins battling it out with Zach Martin and showing power there. There's a lot of potential with it, Malik Collins. He's looking like he's going to be your starting 3 technique, which is really what I wanted from the start of all this since this offseason. So really good to see that he gets to build upon his 5 sets as a rookie. There's not a lot of news about Taco, which is not necessarily a good or bad thing. But it's something to keep your eye on. Throughout the practices, it was said that he ultimately was doing better at left end and feeling a lot more fluid in his motions and where he was able to get leverage. So it wouldn't affect me if Taco became our starting left end. Whenever he was drafted, I told some people that if you think of Anthony Spencer instead of DeMarcus Ware, you're not going to get disappointed with Taco. So I think I'm hoping he gets to ultimately play his best spot, which I really do feel like is going to be left end instead of right end, which opens up the door for DeMarcus Lawrence, Benson Mayowa, Charles Tapper all at right end. So that right end job is still up for grabs, I think. Taco's still in that midst. But need to keep an eye on that. Tyron Smith is looking very healthy this season as opposed to last, whenever he was really battling a lower back problem throughout pretty much the whole season, and still able play at a pretty high level, so nothing to worry about there. Ryan Switzer started off extremely hot throughout training camp, or not training camp, but OTAs, but throughout minicamp he started to drop a couple, which is nothing to worry about again. So, um, this has been pretty much all the things that I've compiled throughout the past couple of days. Um, Looking forward to July 18th. Until then, though, I will still be releasing a Cowboys vid at least once a week every Friday afternoon after about 6 o'clock. So stay tuned. And if you found this video helpful at all, please go ahead and hit that like. Leave me a comment whether you think it was helpful or not. And if there was anybody I left off, then I can tell you down there how they did during OTAs and minicamp. And if you would, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you'll get more Dallas Cowboys content, UFC news. And pretty much we got some exciting things coming up. Possibly a live camera show. So stay tuned, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.